This morning, I woke up with my window open to hear a couple, or so it seemed like it was a couple, screaming profanities at each other. And I mean at the top of their lungs. And I actually looked out my window like, where is that coming from? Because it was so, I don't know, you just don't normally hear that. And I decided to go through a list I have in my phone for video ideas that come to me to talk about when the time feels right. And I found this part in the list that talks about being gentle, kind, and safe, and understanding that we really never know what someone is really going through. Because we are all dealing with our own internal battles, and that of which no one really knows about. Even if we talk about it, even if we share that with someone, no one's going to know what that really feels like or what that experience really is for us. And that's like the whole key to empathy that I talk about, right? Is that you really never know what someone's really going through or their whole life story of what they've been through. So being gentle, kind, and safe, this is a Montessori motto. Now, of course, I'm not here to talk about the Montessori method, which is a pedagogy, a very spiritual pedagogy, which I highly recommend looking into if you have kids or will ever have kids. And it's the field I work in, but mainly I just want to talk about this motto, which we carry out throughout all of our classrooms worldwide. Be gentle, be kind, be safe. This is the whole crux of the rules that we instill in a classroom, and it's really less of a rule and more of a principle, right? Because you don't have a rule that says you must be kind, but you can have a principle, an ideal of which to strive toward in all of our actions and interactions. So be gentle, be kind, be safe is a great way to instill that. And whenever I see, well, I shouldn't say whenever because I'm not perfect at this, but it's something I really like to try to remember to do. So whenever I see children having an altercation and they seem to need assistance through it, you might ask a child, okay, what you just did, is that gentle? Is that kind? Is that safe? And honestly, they usually know the answer, and they can really differentiate that pretty naturally. It's just that they need to become aware of whether it was gentle, kind, or safe to now course correct. And, we use this in the classroom, but imagine if everyone actually sat there and asked themselves these questions before doing something, and the impact that could have. I'm sure you've heard the saying, think before you speak or think before you act. And look, none of us are perfect at that. None of us. So how do we bring more awareness into our actions before we act? And maybe ask ourselves, is this gentle? Is this kind? Is this safe? Because if we can approach our situations, whatever they may be, with more kindness, love, respect, empathy, humility, less altercations will evidently presume. And just how do we take a moment to breathe into that principle a little more? Because a lot of our actions are reactions. A lot of our actions are hurtful and projections of our pain. And though we may be doing what we do because we are projecting our pain, it doesn't mitigate the necessity to consider that the people or the person that we are interacting with may also be going through something very painful, or may also be sensitive to what you're projecting. And on the other hand of that, how do we apply this to forgiveness? Through empathy, right? And seeing that people who do project their pain, though it's not excusable for them to do so, it's also like, yeah, but they're hurt. And they're not aware that they're hurt and that their actions are because they're hurt. So, how do we have empathy and then forgive that person to free ourselves from any limiting attachments or expectations of how we wish or think that person should treat us in a given situation? So how do we apply this in both aspects, both respects of being gentle, kind, and safe with others, and then also understanding that maybe people aren't so gentle, kind, and safe because they're hurt and they're unaware of it, or they're aware of it and haven't done the inner work to alchemize, to transcend their behaviors into something more gentle, kind, and safe. And also, like, how do we follow our intuition with what it means to be gentle, kind, and safe? Well, simple. How would you feel if someone did this to you? How would you feel if someone said these words to you? If someone did this action to you, how would you feel? Now, someone I know recently used the term flippant for the person who might actually see their actions, their hurtful actions, as something they wouldn't be bothered by. Okay, so then that method might not work for you. But then just imagine, even if it doesn't impact you the same way that it's likely to impact someone else, is that really how you want to make someone feel? Is that really how you want people to remember you for making them feel? We're all one, right? So when you hurt someone, you're hurting yourself. And you're the one who has to live with that. So it's all up to you in each moment, each breath of each new day, each step that you take, it's up to you. Do I want to be gentle, kind, and safe today? Do I want to be gentle, kind, and safe toward others? What is my intention in everything I do? And how do I bring that intention forth into my experience through the choices I make, through the words I speak, through the actions I take? How do I bring more love and empathy into my reality, into the shared reality, the collective reality of the one we all are? How do I do that? Be gentle, be kind, be safe. And with that, I wish you all blessings, love, light, and empathy to all of you, and thank you for listening.